In so many cultures, a house is more than just a structure. It's a vessel for generations of stories, shared meals, and family support. And having 3 generations under one roof is a beautiful tradition. But something to keep in mind is that from a building biology perspective, it changes the ecosystem of your entire home. When you have grandparents, parents, and children all sharing one footprint, especially in an older home, the bioload for that home is so much higher than the typical home. And of course, this doesn't mean that you need to move or that you need to change the structure of your house or your family, but there are some really good habits and tips we're going to talk about today that will help if you have a home with multiple generations. More people means more moisture, higher CO2, and a faster accumulation of pollutants. And if your home was built between the 1920s and 1970s, it likely was not built for the type of activity that inhabits it today. Welcome back. I'm Amanda. I'm a building biology practitioner, a certified home inspector, and a healthy home expert. I'm the owner and creator of Healthy House on the Block, where I empower you with information, knowledge, and research to help you create a healthy home, one that actually supports your health and wellness instead of burning it down over time. And today we are going to be talking about what to do habit-wise and health-wise when you have a full house. Every person in your home is a source of moisture and CO2. Now, in a multi-generational setting, we have to account for the increased bioload. And this isn't a negative thing, but it does mean that our home systems have to work harder to keep the air fresh and the surfaces clean. And we have to look at the home through a specialized lens, because the very old and the very young have different health vulnerabilities. And creating a healthy home is about protecting your legacy and ensuring the environment supports recovery and growth. Now, when you're managing a large household, probably on a budget, you can't fix everything at once. This is why we want to prioritize certain spaces, and the best thing to prioritize is your bedroom or sleep sanctuary. We want to focus on grandparents, the oldest and the youngest, or children first, because this is where their bodies are allowed to be in a state of deep repair and detoxification. It's where the body repairs throughout the day. And if we can ensure that this sleep sanctuary is free from as many toxins as possible, it will be beneficial to the overall health and wellness of everybody in the home. So one of the first things you can do is focus your resources on high quality air purification for these sleep sanctuaries or wherever somebody is going to be sleeping in the home. This is going to help remove fine particulate matter, and this is critical to seniors who may have different sensitivities or suppressed immune systems, and for children whose bodies and systems are still developing. The next thing you can focus on would be mattresses or bedding. So many mattresses are treated with different toxins such as flame retardants, and they also use synthetic foams, which are petroleum based. These can off-gas VOCs directly into the breathing zone, and it can also be absorbed into the skin. So when you have the opportunity, if you can switch to an organic material, your sleep sanctuary will turn into a space where your body isn't fighting stressors all night that it's coming in contact with. Instead, it will actually detoxify, rest, and restore. Are you a little unsure about where you even should be starting with the healthy house? Like, what are the first steps? After 10 plus years of hands-on experience, I know what those first steps are, and I know the steps to take that won't have you spending lots of money in the beginning, but will get you excited for all of the changes and all the potential that your house has. The truth is, creating a healthy house doesn't have to be really expensive. It doesn't have to be really complicated. You just have to know the exact steps to take. Anybody can check things off a list, and that's exactly what I'm here to help you do. My free ebook is an amazing resource to help you get started on getting toxins out of your house and creating healthier habits, and also planning for the future for some of those bigger changes. So older homes have been known to have like a leaky quality about them, meaning that air can pass through different parts of the home from the exterior to the interior, allowing for a full air exchange. However, newer homes are more tightly sealed, do not allow a lot of air to be passing through. Now, when you have a home where many people are showering and cooking, even an older home with its natural leakiness just isn't enough to manage the humidity levels. So we need to actively manage how the house breathes, if you will, to prevent moisture buildup, because we want to have our humidity levels at an ideal level between 35 and 50%. So when levels climb higher, and I would say 50% is the absolute highest we should allow our indoor humidity to be at, the home can become a breeding ground for not only dust mites, but also mold. And the primary trigger with high humidity would be asthma and respiratory issues, and this is often seen in kids and seniors. Another area that we often find issues when we have these humidity levels that get above 50% is any VOC that's in the home, which many homes have hundreds of VOCs in the house just based on what is brought in with furniture and materials and what's already there. These VOCs will off gas at a much higher rate when the humidity levels are high. And this means that the indoor air becomes more toxic. And this is why I really encourage kind of what a lot of people will call like a daily flush. And what it means is that it means you're opening the windows for 10 minutes every morning. And this simple traditional act will purge stale air, CO2, moisture. And what it does is it replaces it with the exterior air, which is oxygen rich from outside. And it's a free and effective way to really improve the indoor air quality inside your home. And one of the ways you can do this is by purchasing a hygrometer. These are very inexpensive. You can buy a multi-pack for $10 to $15 online. And with these small hygrometers, you can put them in common areas around your house. So you can compare what areas are getting more humid throughout the day. It could be a bathroom, could be a kitchen. If the house feels heavy or you see condensation on the windows, your home is telling you it's time to ventilate, but it's also time to monitor so you really know what's going on with your indoor air. In any home, the kitchen is often the busiest room, and it's often the primary source of indoor air pollution. The way we cook and the way we clean here impacts every generation in the entire house. And this is what I absolutely love when I'm in a multi-generational home. Generally, traditional families prefer reheating food on the stove rather than the microwave. And this is a massive health win. It reduces chemical leaching from plastics, and it also preserves the quality of food, not to mention you're reducing EMFs in your home by reducing use of a microwave. So continue that stovetop reheating method, because I think that's something that we could all use in our lives. Heavy cooking, especially when you're pan frying or working with a skillet, can release fine particles into the air. And it's vital to ensure that the range hood vents to the exterior rather than one that just recirculates that air back into your kitchen, such as a microwave vent might do. Also in a kitchen, because large families consume so much water, a basic pitcher filter probably isn't enough to protect everyone from lead, from fluoride, from other toxins that come through your water, such as chlorine byproducts. It's important to consider an under-sink reverse osmosis system or a point of entry filter, which would filter water throughout your whole house. Either way, it's important to have the majority of the water in your home filtered consistently, because those pitchers will end up being used way quicker than you can fill them up, and they are not as efficient as some of these other filters. And I think one of the biggest challenges isn't always the building, it's actually the habits that different family members may have. We often have to navigate different ideas of what clean might look like for a younger generation as opposed to an older generation, and the importance of toxins that can vary between generations as well. And speaking to this, many older generations equate the smell of bleach or of heavy floral scents with safety and with cleanliness. In building biology, we know those scents can actually have a negative impact on your body. We know that fragrance chemicals not only disrupt your hormones, but it can irritate your lungs as well and cause respiratory issues. As someone who also works to navigate some of those relationships, I think it can be a respect first approach. In essence, explain that science has caught up with some of the traditions our older generations use for cleaning and in their home. We now know that strong smells can tax the heart and lungs over time, and frame the change as an act of love to keep them healthy. You can also offer traditional, safe alternatives like a simmering pot with cinnamon or cloves. This provides that comfort of a scented home without the toxic payload of synthetic fragrances. Many traditional homes already have great habits, and a shoes off policy is one of those. It actually prevents up to 80% of outdoor toxins like lead dust and pesticides from entering the home's dust reservoir. So continue to embrace that tradition and that habit in your home to prevent unnecessary toxins inside. Another great habit that traditional families have is finding thrifted solid wood pieces or even using handed down pieces. Older solid wood furniture has already off-gassed, and this is a hidden health hack that many older generations just naturally practice. It is far superior to some of the modern fast furniture that is being produced that releases formaldehyde and VOCs into your space. So whether you're dealing with high humidity levels in a full house, or maybe you're navigating a low tox transition with your in-laws, you don't have to do it alone. We can create a blueprint that respects your traditions while ensuring your home is a sanctuary for every generation. Just head to the link above or in the video description where I have my guide laid out, plus opportunities where we can work together to create a plan for your own home. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you were able to take at least one idea from this week's video and apply it to your own space. If you did find this video helpful, definitely give it a like and be sure to subscribe to my channel because I am here every single week with new tips and new ideas on how to create a space that truly supports your health and your wellness.